Making a قرمه sabzi, I'm gonna use dry herbs which I buy it from Persian store. I keep them in the zipper bag and I put them in the freezer to stay green and smell good. It's called Sabzi Gourmet. For a Ghormeh Sabzi, Ghormeh Sabzi, it's a mixture of 4 herbs. We have a small amount of Fenugreek. That's the only thing. You have to use the small piece, otherwise it would be very overwhelming. And then it has a flat leaf parsley, it has a cilantro, and it has a chive. So if we do 1 portion on everything, the fenugreek should be 1/3 of the portion. Or you can just buy the green herb ready. It's already right measurement, everything is mixed. It's a very fast way of doing it. Definitely is easier than using it fresh, because fresh you have to buy it, bring it, clean it, wash it, chop it. It's a long way to go, but this is already ready. If you're using dry herbs, in dry herbs you have to use a little less than the fresh one, because after you soak it, it extend and it get bigger. I'm gonna soak this with a little warm water. This was a 2 cup of the dry sabzi ghormeh or Ghormeh Sabzi herbs. I try to just hydrate it. You gotta put it aside. After a little while, it's gonna be hydrated. You don't want to add too much water to it, because then later on it would be very difficult to get rid of that water. It's not impossible, but it's hard. Anyway, I'm gonna put this aside when it's hydrated. If you feel like you need more water, add to it with all means. After this is hydrated, I have to stir fry it. Ready chunk beef, so it will save me time to cut the beef. And this is about 1.5 pounds. I washed my beef and I put some cold water over it, just enough to cover the beef. And I did chop 1 whole onion, which I chopped it in the 4 pieces. You don't have to do it fine, because later on when my meat cooked, I'm gonna fish this stuff out. Anytime I have a parsley, which I use the leaf, I freeze the stem, because anytime I'm making the beef stew or cooking the beef or cooking the chicken, I use in it, and then later on I'll fish it out. It really helps to flavor, and it helps financially, because you don't have to go and purchase more parsley, and why to be wasteful when we have something we can use. The piece of the celeries, which is not pretty and I'm not using it in my dish, I freeze those pieces too when I'm making a chicken broth, beef broth, or cooking a meat or chicken by itself. So I have about 1 stem of that. I was like a 7 or 8 stem of the parsley, and 1 small carrot. I just cut it to the piece, and I'm gonna put this as it is. I'm not putting any salt or pepper or spice, anything, over the heat, and I wait to start foaming. And as you know from my eggplant stew, I always remove the foam. Okay, I put it over a stove on medium-high heat, and I'm gonna put the lid on. This brown foamy stuff I was talking about, we gotta remove those. This is a fixed standard for all my beef stew. That's the one thing I do on all. That is why I'm not adding any spices now. I'm gonna wait, it's gonna boil again, and it's gonna have those foamy stuff on top of it, and I remove as much as possible. Still have a little more of this foamy stuff. See that? I remove those. I'm gonna add a little turmeric. Turmeric has to be added when it's boiling and hot. I'm gonna add some pepper. That was a black pepper. And I like to add a little red pepper crushed. You make it spicy. This thing you make it a little hot. If you are not into the hot and spicy dish, do not use it. I'm not gonna add salt right now. Jalapeno pepper or any type of green pepper to my any beef dishes. For some reason it helps very nicely with the smell of the meat. After I cook my meat, I put them in a drainer. I separate all the vegetable, and what is left here, it would be my meat and a meat sauce. And this is a base for most of the Persian stews. I warm up my pan with the 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. This is the mixed herb which I soaked it, and look, it seems like a fresh chopped herbs. Look, it didn't have too much water in it, you see, so it was enough water. And I'm gonna stir fry it. We're gonna stir fry that. Don't stir fry it for too long because it's gonna burn. Some people really like it that way, but to me, the moment I smell the stir fry herb, that's the time I'm gonna turn off the heat. Don't try to stir fry the dry herbs. It would burn very quickly. It really requires to be soaked on water for, I would say, an hour. Using a dry herb, it's like a shortcut to make the Ghormeh Sabzi. And then it requires red beans, red kidney beans, which I use dark red kidney beans for Ghormeh Sabzi. I buy it in the can and I use the whole can on this. That's another shortcut to speed up the cooking in your Ghormeh Sabzi. Green herbs are very well toasted. I can smell the Ghormeh Sabzi's herbs. It is very nice toasted one. You see, it's not burned, it's just toasted. It smells really nice. I'm gonna add my beef broth and my beefs. It's my chunky stew beef. This is a key lime fillet. That means they dry the key lime, they skin it and take those fillet out of it and remove any seed and let them dry. If you cannot find this, this is called limoo amani. You could get it any Persian website or Persian store. If you cannot find it, it's fine. Just use lemon juice. But since I have it, I'm gonna add because I like my Ghormeh Sabzi being in the tangy side. 1 can of dark red kidney beans. I like it to be dark because the dark red kidney beans over this green look very pretty. I'm gonna just drain it and rinse it with the cold water. Try it here. And I'm gonna add it to my Ghormeh Sabzi. If I feel like this is not enough red, I would add some more. Let's see. I'm gonna add a little bit more dark red kidney beans. I like to see the red in my Ghormeh Sabzi. Well, I did 2 cans, even though 1 was enough. I did add 2 cans, and I'm proud of it. Okay, let's test it. Okay, it's the time to add some salt. Normally we stir fry medium sized chopped onion and adding it to Ghormeh Sabzi, but because I'm all about shortcut, I'm gonna use my Trader Joe's stir fry onion. Look at that. The reason I'm always saying Trader Joe's because they did not add anything extra to it. It's just the onion and a salt and a little breading. That was a 1/4 of the cup I add. Of course, you could get a stir fry onion in a jar from Persian store. That is perfectly fine too. Or you can chop onion in small pieces, stir fry it and add. But this is the shortcut. I'm gonna add some salt. When I start cooking this, until now I did not add any salt, so it was a time to do it. And I tested, I think it could take a little more limoo amani. You know, some people get just a whole limoo amani, which is called key lime, and they buy the whole dry and add it. Beware of, if you using the whole with the skin, your Ghormeh Sabzi gonna get a slightly better. I don't like my Ghormeh Sabzi being any better, so I spend a little more money to get the filet one. And if you don't have it, it's just fine. Use the lemon juice. Lemon juice is perfectly fine. Or a lime juice. Whatever you like. Let's see. Yep. I'm just gonna leave it in the very low heat and wait till all the taste comes together. My Ghormeh Sabzi is ready. I'm gonna turn it off and I'm gonna test it. It's very nice. Alright, this is my zafrani rice. I have a chunky beef in it. It's a very nice to serve it with a Shirazi salad next to it, or just a fresh chopped onion. Look at that. And this stew is very nice to be over tahdig. Tahdig is a crunchy rice. All right, I have a little Shirazi salad right here. I'm gonna add to it, and let me put them in the corner. Wow, a little of everything. Oh, and red beans. I love these red beans. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that cute red beans. And a green and a red and a white and saffron. Very nice. It's just perfect. Look at my beans. Look at the herbs. It's very healthy. Thank you very much for watching, and let me know what you think.